It's Booze Commander. Here we got a shark tracker, serial number implanted in this shark here that seems to be devouring the country. There you see the American area, and then all these island nations down here, they're just kind of like torn to shreds. I mean, you'd see like the tail fin of this thing here, 4.7, 15 IBU, 12 FLOZ, triple O, 35. Chandelier Island Brewing. But yeah, you don't want to see the face of this guy, because you start looking at his eye, you know, you might see something you don't want to see. Anyway, let's just try to be a good boy and try not to think about going fishing. Smells kind of clear. Y'all been reading your Shakespeare? I'm not the biggest fan of Hamlet, but you know, you don't like Romeo? Where art thou, Romeo? I don't know about Shakespeare. Well, if you start quoting Shakespeare, you know, you wind up in jail for a crime you didn't commit. Nah, I never was a big fan of Shakespeare. What about Frank Lloyd Tennyson? You ever heard of Frank Lloyd Tennyson? No, excuse me, that's Frank Lloyd Wright and Alfred Lord Tennyson. Those are little things you learn in school. You've been doing your push-ups, sit-ups, your calisthenics. You better do them every day. You might as well. How many is beer? Beer 5.5, and it's kind of milky. Get a weird looking code writ on it. I don't know if you know how to read it. Pretty soon you have to read codes harder than that, and you ain't gonna have a computer to help you. It doesn't matter anymore. Nothing matters that you did it. I mean, what have you done with your life? Have you studied anything? Have you spent 9 or 10 on your 9-10 due? I mean, what kind of grades are you getting in school? You're already talking about quitting and you're not even through? I mean, how about that sugar? Who's screaming in your head? Can you hear them? How loud are they screaming? I said they got this worm. He runs through your head, made of metal. He screws into your brain, and he vibrates, and it sounds like there's a guy screaming at the top of his lungs, and he won't shut up, and he won't shut up, and he won't shut up, and he won't go to bed. And when he goes to bed, he's screaming, and you can't get him out. You can't get him out. And you go to your doctor, and you're like, hey, there's a machine in my head. It's riding through the canals, and it's drilling itself into my head, and it's screaming in my head, and it's screaming in my head. They're like, okay, let's go to the mental hospital. Go to the mental hospital. And they're sticking needles in your arms, and they're sticking needles in their arms, and then they're injecting more machines in your bloodstream, and they're screwing into your head, and they're cutting the top of your head off, and they're shaving you, and they're running you down the hallway, and they're pulling your eyes out. They're injecting you full of chemicals, and they're taking your head off. Yeah. But you gotta look forward to. Whatever it takes to get sane. Yep. But it tastes milky. I don't know what gives it the milky taste, but it does have shark tagging. And watch out for the hammerheads, man. And if that thing is screaming in your head, man, I don't know what to tell you. You know, you better go stock up on some blue pills.